Hey y'all, I'm back, and today we're going to be reading a fan fiction that I found of myself. And we're also going to be filming really close. Do you like seeing me this close? I feel a little uncomfortable. This isn't actually a dedicated fan fiction per se, because this is actually someone that was my friend in community college, but I completely forgot this existed, and I don't know if it ever became anything, but it's literally a story about me, so it's a fanfic, and I don't remember at all what it's about, so we're going to read it as if it's the first time together. I hope you enjoy this reading of Pierced Preview. Chapter 1. This is wonderful. I already messed it up. That's wonderful, cat. Give me another one. Another one of what? Kailei Rowans, okay, was 22 and in the prime of her life as an up-and-coming model in New York. Okay, so I'm stepping up my game. I'm not modeling in Pennsylvania anymore. I've moved on to New York. She wasn't the typical model that everyone raved for, but she was gorgeous nonetheless. She wasn't extremely tall. In fact, in the modeling business, she was considered short, with a height of 5'3". I'm actually 5'5" now. But she strived just as well as any of the 5'10" models did. She had light brown eyes are pretty dark now, and long black hair that stopped around mid-back. Her face was rounded, true, and her eyes almost seemed too far apart. Are you shading me, girl? Shade. That's a normal space for eyes. Let me know in the comments down below how my eyes look. Anyway. Which in the modeling business was a good thing. Okay, that helps. That helps. And allowed a model to maneuver without having to worry too much if their eyes seem awkward. But the thing that made her absolutely unique was her piercings. She loved the adrenaline of it, and it also made her looking stunning. It also made for her looking stunning in her photos. Can I read in a public setting? No. I don't have any earrings on at all right now, but I still have 20 piercings between both of my ears, and I still have one of these that I'm trying to get rid of, and more other places anyway, so I'm pretty. Kailei let herself fall over the arm of the antique-looking couch, which was highly uncomfortable. But she knew that arch in her back and the way her mouth hung slightly open would be just the right amount of sexy for the final shot that James would want. Who is James? We're introducing a character already. Okay, James is not based on a real person. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. Okay, as far as I understand, James is not a real person. Anyway, she knew pretty much any shot would look really good, only because the dress she was wearing stood out boldly against the dreary set she was placed in. The couch was old, the lighting was dark, and her dress was long, classic, sweetheart cut, blood red dress that hugged her curves perfectly. The bold dress against the dreary couch was bound to make for a good shot, no matter what pose she gave him. Ooh. Anyway, James Witherford was the most popular photographer in New York City to date. All the major companies wanted his work in their magazines, and they would stop at nothing to get it. Okay. James, on the other hand, wanted to open his own photography agency, and so he declined many of the offers that came his way. He was a tall and handsome man that could probably get any woman he wanted, but he remained only married to his work. I love this already. He often told his models, the ones that wanted relations with him, that he wanted nothing that was not his camera. He was very blunt and didn't hide his feelings about something, which made for really good direction and criticism in shoots, but also at times it came off as rude and standoffish. That's me actually, James. That was perfect, Kat. I think we got that. James waved her over to the viewing station where they could see the digital photos that he had taken. Mick, bring up those last ones. He didn't look at his assistant when he spoke. Oh, only at Kailei, who was approaching slowly as she slipped a robe on. Was I naked? Oh no, she said I had a dress on. Okay, never mind. Come look at these. I think one of these last ones would look stunning for the cover. Tell me what you think. Jeez. So there's another character now. Okay, do we want the photographer? This is like choose your own story. Do we want the photographer to date me, or do we want the assistant to date me? There has to be some sort of a twist. Kailei wrapped her hair in a bun as she leaned over Mikhail. That's that's such an assistant name. And looked at the computer screen. Oh, these are so pretty. I don't know why I'm saying that in a different voice. That's my voice. Oh, these are so pretty. She tilted her head to one side, then to another. I just cried as Mikhail scrolled through the film. That one. I love that one. She pointed at the screen. I think this would be perfect, don't you? She looked over at James and gave him a big smile and big puppy eyes. He nodded after looking at the photos for some time. It was the last pose that she had given him, that arched back booty out pose. She didn't think that it would be overly amazing, but she stood corrected when she saw it. All right, we're done. I'll have Mikhail send you the final when it's done. James walked towards his equipment and began making sure that everything was still in good shape. He liked to check everything himself and make sure that everything was put away correctly. I like him. Kailei looked at Mikhail and smiled, looking forward to getting the email. Mikhail returned her smile and placed a hand on her hip. He making a move on me already. I'll have it to you in a day or two. Why do you have to touch my hip when you tell me that? Like, hey girl. Right on your hips. I'll get you that email, that professional email. Anything that you need professionally, I'll get it to you. Okay. Like, anyway. Kailei looked at Mikhail and smiled. Apparently, I like that he touched me. Looking forward to getting the email, Mikhail. You can touch my hips anytime. Mikhail returned her smile. He smiled again when he saw the light blush that reached her cheeks as she realized that she was still leaning over him. The pose was very sensual. Okay, so he's like looking at the emails, right? And then I'm supposed to be like leaning over him like, let me look at these email photos to be emailed. Let me look at these. Thank you so much for your time. Mikhail, the assistant. Oh, him. She cleared her throat as she stood up properly. Oh, hey boo, let me get these photos through your email. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Didn't mean to suggestively or provocatively lean over you in this manner, Mikhail, my bad. Thanks. They shared a moment where their eyes met and neither one of them looked. They were soon interrupted by the sound of her best friend's voice. This is based on a real person that I went to school with too. Kat, that was awesome. People used to call me Kat. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. Brandy Welker was Kayleigh's best friend and almost sister. True. She had short blonde hair that barely reached her chin and dark brown eyes. And with the right eyeshadow, they looked almost black. True. She was an inch shorter than Kailei, but never fretted because she loved being short and it never stopped her from accomplishing anything that she wanted to do. She is way shorter than me. True. With her German roots, she was petite and feisty at times. Damn girl, okay. True. Let me know in the comments down below if you ship me and Brandy. Really? Kailei asked as she walked towards her clothing that was stacked by a closet in the back corner of the room. Definitely, you looked hot. Brandy smiled as she followed. Can't wait to see when they're finished. So we going out tonight? I'm not busy. Girl, you f***ing know it. Let's go. Thanks, and yeah, I hear there's this new club opening up. We could see about that. We used to go to clubs a lot, actually. Oh yeah, the Black Velvet. There's been so much hype about it. Of course there was. I guess we can check it out. All right, let me grab my things and we can head out. And then there's the ... which means like, okay, new scene. It wasn't more than half an hour before Kailei and Brandy were on a train to Brooklyn where they shared a 2-bedroom apartment. That would be so fun. From the office to their apartment was about a 45-minute ride with 2 transfers and a bus ride. This is so specific. By the time they got home, it was around 8 o'clock. That's early for a club, let's go. Kailei quickly shot for the shower while Brandy rummaged through her closet and drawers for something to wear to the Black Velvet. Brandy found a tiny black dress that was slit on both sides that she wore with a pair of solid black leggings and red pumps. Oh my god, if you guys knew what my friend Brandy looked like, she would look hot in that. She sat at the vanity and began on her makeup, putting on dark eyeshadow and a blood red lipstick to match her pumps. Ooh. She then ran some frizz cream through her hair and finished with a touch of hairspray to give it a almost disheveled sort of look. By the time she was done, Kailei was out of the shower. Oh my god, this is so detailed. About time, Brandy laughed, haha, and sat on the bed to wait and see what her friend would decide to wear. Kailei kept a towel wrapped around her as she first started to blow out her hair before even looking for an outfit. After achieving a waved look for her hair, she went into her closet and quickly pulled out a deep midnight blue blouse with a round neckline. That's almost like this. I mean, this is more V. And sleeves that were split all the way to the wrist. so that it hung loose. Okay, like a witchy sort of look. Got you, got those vibes. And a pair of fitted black skinny jeans. Gotta show up that ass. She bent down and grabbed her gladiator stilettos. Yeah, as if I could ever show those. She quickly got dressed and started on her makeup, which consisted of a dark blue eyeshadow and a nude lip. Ready? Randy asked as she grabbed her purse and was already heading for the door. Kailei followed after grabbing her own purse. They grabbed a taxi about a block from where they lived. This is so dated that it would say Uber if this was written today. This is like, what, 6 years ago? About a block from where they lived and headed to the Black Velvet. Hopefully I can find a guy tonight. I am eager, okay? I'm thirsty, apparently. You do not need a man cat to have fun. Brandy rolled her eyes and smiled. Besides, you have me. Kailei sighed in the back of the taxi cab. This is a girls' night, so let's have fun and not think about guys. Let's just have fun, okay? They smiled at each other, and the rest of the ride was them making jokes about what would happen at the club. I'll probably trip on my heels. So true! They both laughed, because as amazing as they both looked in heels, they often had mishaps in them. I actually broke 2 bones in my foot falling down a flight of stairs in heels. That's a story. You probably will, and I'll probably spill my soda on someone. I did that too! Oh my god, I've done that too. They laughed again in unison. Neither of them drank alcohol, still true, which made it often difficult for guys to approach them. Brandy didn't mind because she was already spoken for, but that left Kailei.
And it had been a long time since her last relationship. 3 years ago was the last time Kailei was in a relationship, which was around the same time that her modeling career had really taken off and when she had moved to New York.
Yeah, Kailei looked out the window to the taxi that had stopped. Wow, that line is huge. She turned to Brandy, who was paying the driver. I think we'll get in. We're hot. Of course we'll get in. Brandy gave her always reassuring smile. I'm sorry, if me and this fucking girl showed up at a club and you had to be hot to get in, our asses would be sent home. She patted Kailei on the back and they walked to the front of the line. IDs, ladies. The usher crossed his arms as he looked at the 2 girls.
Y'all think you are going to sneak into this club underage?
They're with me. Before the girls could reach into their purses for their IDs, they heard a voice. Both looked up to see Mikhail. Ooh! Standing beside the usher. Brandy gave Kailei a confused look and she returned it because she had no idea what was going on. Yes, sir. You ladies are fine. The big man unhooked the velvet rope, the black velvet, and let them pass. Mikhail stood at 6'2", while the girls walked past him. He followed behind them to make sure that nobody stopped them on the way inside. Once inside, he leaned over between them, grabbing gently onto their shoulders. Why is he always touching us physically? I hope you girls will enjoy yourselves tonight. Kailei turned to look at Mikhail. I'm confused, was all she said, and became even more confused when she saw the smile creep onto his lips. This is my club. I'm sorry. How are you a business owner and you're a photographer's assistant? How are you going to play these roles like this? How are you going to be like entrepreneur businessman and then also like small assistant man? This is not how this works. I am so... Randy turned and looked at him. Since when? I thought you were an editor. Oh, okay, so he's like the photo editor assistant guy. Okay, I am. But does that mean that I cannot own a club in the city? He looked to her, his hazel green eyes bright in the darkness of the club. Well, no, that's not what I meant. What exactly did you mean, Brandy? He smiled, toying with her, knowing that she was fumbling over her words. Okay, so it's more playful. Relax, you two. I'm not doing any dirty dealings or anything. My mother and father left me a fortune when they passed away. I used some of the money to fund this place, so now he's also a rich heir to some sort of fortune? Is this 50 Shades of Grey? Oh, they both said in unison. We both look at each other awkwardly. Like if I was in that situation in real life, I would just be like, oh, sorry to have doubted you, assistant. Come. He took both of their hands, always touching us, and led them down to the other side of the club through the crowd of people. To the VIP section. He led them to the couches there and looked to the waiter. 2 club sodas and a beer, please. I love club soda. You know that I am a LaCroix girl. When the waiter nodded and left, he went to sit beside them and smiled. How did you know we don't drink? Are you stalking us? Brandy asked suspiciously. Mikhail left out a soft laugh. No, Kailei has mentioned it on several occasions at work. Brandy shot a look at Kailei, and when she nodded, Brandy rolled her eyes. Fine, Kat, let's dance. I love this song. If I know Brandy, it will probably be like a Rihanna song with Dion. She took her hand and led her to the dance floor. Mikhail only sat back in the couch and watched them dance. Mikhail waited for the waiter to return with his beer of the sea and continued to watch both Kailei and Brandy dance. His heart pounded heavily in his chest as he watched their movements, slowly, his gaze fixating on Kailei as she seemed to be taken over by the music. He watched her put her arms up and close her eyes as she swayed her hips back and forth to the music. The dance music was not overly fast. That's a detail that's important for you to know, apparently. You better watch it or someone might think you're stalking her. Okay, who else is here? Who else can be here? There are so many characters already in this story. Mikhail looked up to find Alucard. Alucard Rivers. What kind of name is that? If there's a vampire or a werewolf or something or like a sexy thing going on, he's the sexy guy. Anyway, holding a glass of some alcoholic beverage. Alucard, what brings you here? I heard the famous Rose Air was opening up a new club. Is his name Mikhail Rose? He's the Rose Air? Why would I miss this? Alucard sat down beside Mikhail and fixed his gaze on Kailei as well. But everybody likes me in this story! I'm not used to this kind of attention. She's stunning. Don't, Alucard. Mikhail looked at him, his expression now a very stern one. Is this straight up Twilight where I'm gonna have men fight over me? This is something completely new to me that's never happened before. I'm shook. You gonna stop me? Now we're getting into some deep. If this turns sexual, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going to happen next. Alucard smiled a devilish smile, showing two rows like what, like top and bottom row of sparkling white teeth, and at the ends, longer, sharp ones. Do we have a vampire in the story? There's a vampire in the story. If I have to. Ooh, Mikhail is not playing around. Apparently Mikhail really likes me. Okay. Alucard laughed wholeheartedly. Let us see. He stood up from the couch, placing his drink on the table. He then made his way down to the dance floor where the music had changed to faster, more upbeat song. He slid in between the two girls, or beside the two girls, whatever. And looked at Kailei. May I intrude? Please do! Brandy! Brandy yelled over the crowd and winked to Kailei. She mouthed the words, "He's so hot," before turning to go back up to where Mikhail was sitting. So she's like, of course, Alucard, please intrude. He's hot, Kailei, do it. And then she goes up to Mikhail and grabbed her soda. Luke was on, I thought his name was Alucard. Y'all, does he have a secret identity? Who is Luke now? Are there two men dancing with me on the dance floor? Or does Alucard have a secret identity because he's a vampire? Is Luke a sexy guy name? Luke was all Mikhail said. And with distaste, never once taking his eyes off of them as they danced. Why is he still watching? He watches Alucard, okay, so it is like not really his name. Leaned in close and probably whispered something to her. And if you're in a club, you really can't hear shit, even if they're whispering to you. Like this close to your face. He wanted to get up and stop him, but there was little he could do. It was the opening of his club, and he couldn't start a problem on the first night. He didn't want problems, but he knew that something bad would happen if he didn't interfere. He just didn't know what he should do. What a good friend, Mikhail. Is Mikhail like the friend zone guy that like wants to sleep with you, but is afraid to say that and like turns into a friend zone thing that makes me feel really gross to say out loud? What's your name? Alucard asked, even though he didn't have to. Has he been watching me, this Alucard guy? Cat, she yelled. I'm Luke. You fucking liar, your name is Alucard. How old are you? Another question he didn't have to ask. This is straight up like he's a stalker, okay? This is not even like sexy anymore. This is like, this is bad. This is not good. 22, you? 25. You from around here? He kept asking questions he knew the answer to. All he needed to do was peek into her mind, and he knew everything he needed to, but he couldn't tell her as much. What? This is like getting spicy, you guys, okay? This is spicy. No. You? No. He flashed his white teeth and leaned in close to whisper, I like you. I think you're beautiful. Kailei looked at him, her eyes wide. She blushed slightly. Can I kiss you? Okay, I give him credit for getting consent before doing anything, unlike Mikhail, who likes to touch me a lot apparently. But like, dude, I just meet you now. I'm meeting you, I've known you for 5 minutes. We have danced together for 1 whole song. You whispered 2 whole questions and you're like, okay, let's go home. Who are you?
Who are you people?
No, sir. She opened her eyes wider at the question. No one had ever been so forward with her. That is not true. And generally, she didn't like it either. That is true. But Brandy had told her not to worry and just have fun. Thinking in my mind, like, my friend told me to do it, so I might as well just do it. Let's go. She wanted to be spontaneous and do something no one would expect, so she nodded at him and held her breath. Okay, it's good that that's not expected of me. It would be the first time she would let a random stranger she had just met at a club kiss her. Oh, okay, yeah, see, that's not something normal Kailei would do. Alucard flashed a smile at Mikhail. This is terrible. Is this what men do? They're like, oh, like that's the one that you want? No, I'm gonna go get that woman. And then we're gonna shoot over and look at you and be like, watch me. Like, it's terrible, terrible thing to do. As he pressed a hand on her back to bring her forward. When she was skin close. What does that mean? When she was skin close, he leaned down and pressed his lips to her, giving her first a soft kiss. When he saw the distaste in Mikhail's eyes, he smiled and slid his he smiled and slid his tongue between her lips to deepen the kiss. I cannot handle this right now. Am I blushing? He lifted his head, slowly leaving Kailei breathless. So I'm like this, because he's like taller than me. So he's kissing me, and then like he's done, and I'm like, oh, can't even breathe. So, such a passionate kiss. You are wonderful. Is that what I say? No, that's what Alucard / Luke says. Okay. He brought her hand up to his lips. Okay, so he like kisses me. I'm like, oh, and then he like picks up my hand and kisses back my hand and releases it and says, I must leave you, but I hope to meet you once more. How are you going to play me like that, Alucard? How are you going to play me like that? You kiss me, you leave me breathless, and then you're like,
bye, I was just trying to piss off my friend. See you later, you're a pawn in my sick game.
Boy. Kailei could only nod as he walked away. She was in a daze and couldn't fully understand what had just happened. She walked up to the others and sat with a smile on her face. He was so amazing. It makes it sound like I like did more with this guy. Anyway, she looked at Mikhail. You know him? Are you friends? He's so nice. I said like 3 sentences. Do you have his number? I am so desperate in this story. I'm really very desperate. I have all these men. I have all the men in the world apparently because I'm the main character of the story. And I like am thirsting after this gross ass club dude. Kailei, you need help, okay? This is not okay. No, Mikhail answered. He's bad news, Kat. Don't get involved. You tell me this now, Mikhail? Like, what? What are you talking about? He was Brandy interrupted. Kat totally needed that. How was it? It was amazing and warm and amazing. Who says that about a kiss? Oh, I just kissed you. It was so warm. She smiled and pressed her fingers to her. Am I like reenacting it? I'm like, guys, it was so great. Oh. Mikhail rolled his eyes. Trust me, don't get involved. He's not the type you want to associate with. But why, like, but why? If Mikhail is my friend and he's like DTF, right? Why wouldn't he tell me about this guy? Like, he could totally have gotten up and like walked in between like Luke, Alucard, myself, and been like,
hey Kailei, how's it going? Me and Brittany are gonna go outside for a moment. You wanna come with us?
Like, save me! Save me in some way! If you are a friend, okay, and you have like dirt on another friend, you better look out for your first friend. Like, the first friend needs to looking out for, okay? Just saying. Just saying. Kailei looked at him, the smile now wiped from her face. Why? She asked. Mikhail sighed. He didn't know what he should tell her. He couldn't tell her that Alucard was a vampire and killed at will and took women for his slaves. She would probably laugh at him and pursue him anyway. He's in the crime scene. He's bad news. It was the truth. He was a criminal and he was bad news. Where are we? Where are we? Damn. I don't know who says that. Damn. And that's it! That's the end? How can you leave me on a cliffhanger like this? I need to know what happens. Do I become Alucard's slave? What if we make our own ending? Okay, here's our choices. I end up ditching all of the club people and I go with James, the very successful photographer guy, and he's the photographer, I'm the model, we run the whole world and I'm very successful in that. Do I go with Mikhail and I like run this club with him and we have a flirtatious weird friend that's a vampire? Do I go with the vampire and become his slave forever? Or do I realize that I am gay and I come out to my friends and family and I end up with my friend Brandy? What happens, you guys? You get to pick. Just for your own knowledge, I'm straight in real life. Anyway. But this isn't fair. I wanna know what happens. I need to reach out to this friend, right? I'm gonna send her this video and I'm going to say, listen, we need a chapter 2. I need a whole book. I will help you with your book because I'm so invested in this story at this point. I need to know what happens. Could this be a recurring series on my channel, the Kailei fanfic that actually becomes like an entire Kailei fanfic novel and we go through the whole thing? Can it be like a game of choose your story or whatever? Like, what's it called? It's called like episodes or something, like where you pick like as it goes. Is it one of those? And we choose. We choose as an audience to the book what happens within the book. I am shook. Let me know your thoughts down below. I found this on my Facebook time hop thingy and I completely forgot it existed. Reading it again, I'm blown away. My friend's style of writing is very detailed and good. I haven't talked to this friend in a long time, but I appreciate what they had to say, and it was actually really entertaining for me to read. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Did you like the dramatic reading? Were you as shocked as I was? And thank you for being here on my channel. Love y'all. See you in the future. Bye. Smoking the alcohol. It's better that you don't see what a train wreck all this is. You're welcome. Anyway.